Hello, FCST 1010 students. This is Dr. Wheeler. We are going into Module 4 today. This is Week 3, and I just want to let you know that I have most everything, well, I actually have everything graded except I have probably about 10 students left to go for Challenge 2, and by the time you listen to this, I'll probably have them all finished. And then your Challenge 3 isn't due until tonight, so I'll grade those next week. But I'm completely caught up on grading, and I just got back from seeing Jurassic World, and it was absolutely fantastic. My Gators lost last night, but the Braves won, and now I've got the U.S. Open to look forward to. The leaders are teeing off in about 30 minutes or so. So it's been a very good Sunday, very, very good Sunday. Starting in Module 4, we're on the home page of College Experience. And I want to say before I start talking about Module 4 that this class goes into a progression. And I want you to view this class as something that's not, I was going to use the word special to you, but it's something that you can use throughout your college career. It started out the very first week, why am I here? And the reason that you had to answer that question is because just saying you're going to college isn't enough to get you up and doing your work online or showing up for class in person on the campus. You have to know why you're here. And then we talked about your career, and that's part of it. You've got to kind of have a direction. Even if you're general ed, you have to have a direction at least to know where you're going, or else it's going to be harder to wake up. And then last week it was about time management. And to me that's okay, now I've got an idea of what I want to do and why I'm going to college. And now I need to know how to manage my time effectively so I'll be successful. And you can do that by setting long-term goals like I want to be a nurse, and then short-term goals like I'm going to take anatomy and physiology this semester, and I'm just going to focus on that and passing it. And then even smaller goals about I have a test this week, and I need to study for that. Make sure you use the advice from last week. I love the advice about color coding your planner. If you have a test, highlight those in pink. If you have assignments due, highlight those in yellow, and any appointments you can highlight in green. And then, anything fun or, work. If you work, you may want to highlight that in another color. So that's kind of wrapping up our last 3 weeks. So now we're moving from why are we here, what do I want to do while I'm in college, and how am I going to manage my time. And now if I click on the LibGuide, and I go to Module 4, this week is about thinking and learning. This is a hard one for me to explain. How do you tell somebody how to think and learn? And I'll let you know ahead of time. I didn't come up with all these videos on my own. Someone else found the videos, and I may change them at some point. But this week I want you to apply some of the strategies that you learned through this module and use them in other classes. Use them in this class, use them in other classes. But step 1, your weekly welcome, then your intro video, top 10 geniuses portrayed in films. That's all about thinking and learning. And step 3, it says in-class activity. All I want you to do, I want you to look at this, are learning styles important in teaching styles, and then watch these 2 brief videos. It's very debatable. When you talk about learning styles, how do you learn best? Do you learn best by listening, by video, by hands-on? How do you learn best? And everybody has an opinion about that. And the reason that this is so important to me, and it should be important to you, is do you really think that every professor that you get throughout your college career is going to be geared towards your learning style? If you're an auditory learner and all your professor does is, write examples on the board, or auditory to me it's like listening to something on in a video or listening to an audio recording. Just having a professor lecture, sometimes it goes out, in one ear and out the other for me. If I'm an auditory learner and I like to listen to it over and over again, I'm probably going to ask that professor permission to audio tape them, and I'll go back and listen to it and take notes so that you always have something to fall back on. If you're a visual learner, go to YouTube and watch videos on the subject if you're having trouble understanding it. And there's everything, from algebra to the Cold War. No matter what you're studying in college, there will be a video. That's kind of how I learn. And then I also learn best by hands-on. I can go to IKEA and buy every piece of furniture there, and because they have visual instructions along with written instructions, I could probably put together a car. I'm exaggerating, but you kind of get the point. The last step for this week is your weekly journal, and you'll find that under Assessments, Discussion, and Journal Entry 4. Y'all are doing the most fantastic job, and I have to compare you to last semester because my online class was fantastic last semester, and y'all are right in lockstep with them. Y'all are the best group, so I have to brag on you for a second about turning in all your stuff. Just remember to respond to 2 students so that you'll get all 45 points. If you see 15 points, that means you just completed your thread. If you see 30 points, it means you just responded to 1 person plus your thread. If you see all 45, you wrote your thread and responded to 2 classmates. So make sure that you complete all 3 steps in order to get the 45 points. The question I want you to ponder this week for the journal entry, and it's due before Wednesday at midnight, how do you learn best? Think about it. Throughout, from elementary school up to this point, how do you learn best? You know how you learn best. Is it flashcards? Is it taking notes? Is it highlighting the book? What makes you successful in past classes? And you need to take that, what you're writing in this journal, and you say, okay, if taking notes is the best way for me, then I need to take notes and I need to listen actively in class. And also, if I'm assigned 3 chapters, I need to take notes over the 3 chapters so I remember it all. So that's what this journal is good for this week, is to make you think, and so that you will actually use it for other classes. FCST is not a punishment for you guys just to have to take an extra class. It's to make you think, why am I here? What do I want to do while I'm here? How am I going to manage my time so I'll be successful? And what learning styles can I use that will make me successful while I'm here? So it's kind of a progression, guys. Then come Thursday, you'll start with the intro video. Can you solve the riddle? It's a pretty cool video. And then there's lots of readings right here. The first part of the week, you focus on learning styles. Now you're going to explore different types of thinking related to problem solving. And unlike learning styles, no one argues that you only think one way. I think several ways. Guess what? I'm a mixed bag. I'm auditory, I'm visual, and I'm hands-on. I'm all 3. And I like to have all 3. My dissertation was over, do students learn best by just reading off of a piece of paper, or do they learn best by reading while they're listening to the same words being read to them aloud while they're reading it? And guess what? I found through my dissertation, and I had to test it among 3 reading groups, my students performed better that listened to it being read to them while they read it. And it's like 2 forms of learning styles being used at the same time, so it's like you're getting the information double. It was pretty cool, and you should try it sometime. There's 3 quick videos, there's 1 article, and there's a Prezi. Then you can watch the video on the 5 fallacies and then the rhetorical fallacies. 2 more videos on critical thinking. This one's 5 minutes. This one that's 15 minutes, watch it at your leisure. It's 7 steps of creative thinking. It does not have anything to do with your weekly challenge this week. But watch it whenever you get a chance to. It's pretty cool. Now, let me warn you about the challenge. You know, you have from Thursday to Sunday to complete everything in this second, uh, under day 2, step 1, step 3, or step 2, step 3. So your weekly challenge, you need to go to, it's a skill shop. You need to click on it right here. You can click on it here, and you can also click on it if you go to assessments and then the drop box and challenge 4. You're going to play a game. This one's not the skill shop. This is critical thinking skills. It makes you use your street smarts and what you do. It's called Spent. It is the coolest game. It gives you money at the beginning of the game, and then it'll ask you, do you want to use part of it to save your dog? Are you going to allow your kid to go on a field trip? You kind of have to use your needle to think your way through it because you need money at the end of the game to pay your rent. So it's pretty cool. After you play the game, you can play it more than once. How did you feel about it? How did you do? It mainly concerns your street smarts. How successful were you when using your street smarts to survive? And a lot of being in college is surviving and thinking critically and using your street smarts. I had to when I was in college. I had to out of college. So it says creative thinking. Let's look at this game from another angle. You now work for a nonprofit agency that helps the working poor, just like the single parent is Spent. If time, money, and staff weren't a concern, how would you help people in this situation? And they're almost like a Jerry Springer situation. Everything in the book is thrown at you in this game. So think if you're a rich person that won the lottery and money weren't an object and you have plenty of staff and somebody came to you with these concerns, how would you help people that needed your help? And you'll know once you play the game what I'm talking about. But I want you to create a Word document, put it in D2L under Assessments, Dropbox, and Challenge 4. That'll be due Sunday before midnight. And if you've looked at your grade and you've read your comments, and your comments are to make you a better student, know that when you create the Word document, that you need to make sure that it's in Times New Roman, font number 12, and that you label your paper up at the top with your name, FCST 1010, Challenge 4, and the date needs to be in MLA style. This needs to be double spaced. Answer all the questions. I haven't counted off so far on formatting, but anybody that missed it, I put it down, and most of you did not catch using Times Roman number 12, even though I've talked about it every time. So make sure you're watching these direction videos to their fullest, and I'll remind you that when I send this email out. But you'll be able to find this video on the front of our D2L page, and it'll be under LiveGuide link. It'll say New Sunday, June 21st, Module 4 Directions. Watch them in their entirety. So I will talk to you guys next week. I'll finish grading Challenge 3 when everybody turns them in tonight. Have a great week. Those of you who are fathers, happy Father's Day. Email me if you need anything, and I answer a lot more quickly if it's kwheeler@highlands.edu. And y'all have a great week. Go Braves. And go Georgia State.